Hi friends, I hope you have a wonderful day, and this time I'm gonna be reacting to F1 drivers being effing stupid for for 14 minutes straight. So stupid. Let's just check it out.
From teammates bumping into each other to drivers becoming rolling obstacles.
Oh.
Okay, I'm hanging upside down.
What? That's just okay.
These are the moments where F1 drivers forget how to drive.
He crashed in qualifying and now he's out before the start of the race.
Oh yeah, that was perfect. I remember about that one in the gravel, Stroll in the gravel.
The most exciting part of the Monaco GP is the formation lap, and 2025 was no exception to this rule. However, there's a category that made us remember that Turn 1 never forgives. It's tight, it's sketchy, and somehow multiple drivers still thought they could all squeeze through side by side. Spoiler, they couldn't. This is the F2 feature race. Lights go out, engines roar, and before the cameras even finish their first sweep, boom!
Oh, contact between Victor Martins and Alex Dunn, and there's a pile-up into Turn 1. Huge incident.
Cars start stacking up like it's Black Friday sale at Saint-Devoux.
Oh my.
Front wings everywhere, tires bouncing, half the grid doing synchronized chaos.
It was F1? Oh yeah, F1 drivers, huh?
Worst part, these weren't backmarkers either. They were the future of Formula 1 prospects, but that made them look more like Uber drivers than future world champs. 7 cars gone before lap 1. That's Monte Carlo, baby. A race so allergic to overtakes that it decided to eliminate the drivers instead. When things finally calmed down, Jack Crawford just existed. Stayed out of the mess, didn't crash, and ended up holding the trophy. Not for being the fastest, just for keeping his car shaped like a car. And sometimes in Monaco, that's the ultimate skill. But if you thought rookies were bad, just wait till you see what happens when actual F1 drivers clash at Monaco. In 1996, there wasn't a race. There was a survival horror game disguised as a Grand Prix. The rain came down, everyone panicked, and within minutes, half the grid was either in the wall, in the barriers, or facing the wrong way, wondering what had just happened. Seriously, 21 drivers started the race, because even in the warm-up there was another retirement, and only 3 made it to the end. It all started right from the start line. Damon Hill led confidently, but his engine said nope, as it gave up midway like it was tired of existing.
And spoke out of the back of the Williams. Damon Hill out of the Monaco Grand Prix.
Then Jean Alesi looked like he had the win in the bag, until his suspension snapped like a breadstick. One by one, the favourites disappeared. Schumacher, Villeneuve, Berger, gone.
He said it, burger?
And out of that chaos, from absolutely nowhere, came Olivier Panis, a guy who started 14th on the grid, just calmly dodging wrecks like Neo in the Matrix. By the time the checkered flag fell, the track looked like a scrapyard, and Panis looked like he couldn't believe he'd actually won. It was Monaco at its finest. Unpredictable, unforgiving, and absurdly entertaining. Just like when you see 2 teammates forget the rules of survival. Montreal is usually known for the Wall of Champions, but in 2025 it got a new iconic wall. The Wall of Teammates. Lap 67 proved that even when you've got the fastest car on the grid, sometimes your worst enemy is sitting right next to you in the garage. McLaren rolled into Canada looking untouchable, with Piastri leading the standings on 198 points, and Lando right behind at 176. So when everything's going alright, you need to make sure to bottle it. Picture this, lap 67, Norris tries to send it back past Piastri on the pit straight, and all of a sudden, he clipped Oscar's left rear, snapped sideways, and straight into the wall. One McLaren out instantly. The Aussie somehow survived and dragged it home in P4.
Aussie?
For Norris, that was the biggest L of the season, and he straight up admitted, I was stupid.
And there's being stupid like I was at the end.
Respect for the honesty, but still, ouch. So that clumsy move swung the title fight hard. Suddenly, Piastri's lead over his teammate jumped to 22 points. The moon at McLaren? Tense. The memes? Immediate. Why? Because this felt too similar to Canada 2011 for a minute. Same track, same pressure, same team.
What do you think?
Oh.
I think in that case, there's no question if you see a moment to McLaren's touch.
And that's why McLaren's garage is suddenly feeling less like family and more like a gladiator pit. Because when teammates forget there's boundaries, collisions aren't accidents, they're inevitabilities.
Once I remember when I started these videos that I watched like about the teams, and I remember if you wanna problem-free team to cheer up, I don't know. It is McLaren. It doesn't show like that anymore. No, I don't know where. But okay.
Canada was messy, but Baku, that's a whole different breed of chaos. The kind where you even see Piastri making mistakes, and that's something we don't get to see often. The guy's a robot. Baku has this weird reputation. Like, no matter how good you are, the walls are just waiting to ruin your day. And yeah, I know every other track has walls, but Baku's got this smug energy like it knows you're about to screw up. Take Oscar in 2025. His whole weekend just collapsed piece by piece. On Friday, he already got slapped with a reprimand in FP2 for not slowing under yellows. Rookie mistake, except he's not even a rookie anymore. Then in qualifying, he decided to put on a show in Q3. Straight into turn 3.
Piastri's in the wall! Oscar Piastri, the championship leader!
Car smashed. McLaren's scrambling overnight to throw in a new survival cell. At least it was the same spec, so no pit lane start. That was honestly the last good thing to happen to him. It's lights out and away we go. And my boy, dude was absolutely cooked. He jump starts, 5-second penalty right there, and just like that wasn't good enough, less than a minute later locks up at turn 5.
He's in the wall, he's out of the race!
Hits the barrier, and
I remember this one, I was shocked.
he's out. The only retirement of the whole race. Everyone else made it. The championship leader was literally the main character, for all the wrong reasons. But before you think it was just a one-hit wonder by Baku, let's rewind to 2019. Charles Leclerc, the guy was flying. Fastest in every single practice session. Ferrari looked elite, like they were the gold standard that weekend. Then qualifying came, and in Q2, the Monegasque kept the inside wall, and that's when he dropped this iconic line over the radio.
I am stupid. I am stupid. I am stupid.
Imagine dominating all weekend, and then one sketchy mistake trashes the whole thing. And that's the thing about Baku. It doesn't care who you are. The walls don't play favourites. Just like how there are no favourites when you play bowling mid-race. Hungary 2021 definitely goes into that category, because Bottas and Stroll basically turned turn 1 into a bowling alley, and the pins were worth millions. The weekend starts under heavy skies. Every driver's pretending they're calm. Every strategist's praying the radar's lying. We were at that weird point in the season when Mercedes were desperate, Red Bull confident, and the tension thick. It's lights out and
Norris touched and into each other goes Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez.
Suddenly Bottas forgets how brakes work. He smashes into Norris, who smashes into Verstappen, while Valtteri himself.
Bottas forgot. I don't know. If you're mentioning Stroll, first thing that I'm thinking, oh yeah, he's at fault and he did the major damage everywhere.
Collects Sergio Perez. Strike. The whole grid was in pieces. Verstappen's car looked mugged. Perez was out and Bottas just kind of walked away like, yeah, my bad. Which reminds me of what he did just a few races before. Styrian weekend. Same season. It's FP2, a normal session, right? A Mercedes leaving the garage. You'd expect smooth, elite control, but nope.
Hello? Hello?
Bottas floors it, the rear snaps, and suddenly he's facing the McLaren garage in the pit lane. Yep, the safest place on track, and my guy turns it into a slip and slide. And you know who else was dancing on the Hungary?
What? What? How? What? It seriously looked like he is on ice.
Lance went rallying across the grass to dodge the mess after also forgetting how to brake, and then swerves back on track, straight into Charles Leclerc. And because why stop there, he also clipped
the hole in the car.
Ricciardo. 2 more gone. Red flag, chaos everywhere. The race turned into one of those where the midfield suddenly looks like MVPs because half the elite guys were chilling in the garage. And the thing is, those incidents might have been unusual for Bottas, but for Stroll, that kind of chaos was just another line in his resume.
Another day. Yay. Why am I not to say it like that? I don't know.
China 2024, rear ends Ricciardo under a safety car. Saudi 2024, walls it in practice and retires from the race. Brazil 2024, spins in quali, then beaches it on the formation lap. The wild part is that Stroll does have podiums and flashes of legit pace, but those memories get buried under his woke status. If you think about
flashes in his dreams. Okay, okay.
That's also the beauty of the sport. One moment is art in motion, the next is a demolition derby. Just like Mugello. It was 2020, and unless you'd been living on Saturn, you probably remember Earth wasn't doing that great. Given this, Domenicali said, "Don't worry, ragazzi, my homeland's got this." And off we went to a test track. Though this time, teams weren't testing setups. They were testing how indestructible carbon fiber actually is. Lights out, Not even close.
Alex Albon still, and there's a tangle there, and it's the McLaren, and Carlos Sainz has been spun round, and there's even further trouble.
Then lap 7, restart time.
Carlos
Safety car
Sainz.
exits,
Okay.
and the pack is crawling behind Bottas, looking like they're in a traffic jam in Helsinki. Of course, Valtteri, knowing the control line is miles down the straight, waits until the very last second to accelerate. Okay, smart move. The problem? Drivers behind weren't synced. Some went, I trust my reflexes. Others, nah, let me wait. Outcome, disgrazia.
Is away, there's a big crash at the back, and that is the Alfa Romeo.
4 cars gone, instantly. Define pain. Telemetry later showed Bottas chilling at 7.
It looked almost like in a Cars movie. The first one.
88 miles per hour, while the back of the pack rocketed past 125 miles per hour, like they were speed-running chaos. It all started around Kvyat's row. He went early, Gio followed, K-Mag hit the brakes, and the grid collectively decided to commit genocide. Nevertheless, after the dust settled, 12 drivers got official warnings, and everyone else blamed everyone else, because of course they did. Funny how things change. Not long ago, every driver would have united against one man, just to burn him down. How do I know? Because I watched it happen. 2012. What a year. 7 different winners in the first 7 races. Maldonado somehow a race winner. Yeah, it was that kind of season. And when the circus rolled into Spa, everyone was hyped. One of the most legendary tracks ever. Fast corners, mad elevation, a grid stacked with giants. Alonso, Hamilton, Raikkonen, Vettel, Button. Everything pointed to a classic. And it was. Just not the kind anyone expected. Lights went out, cars launched off the line, and within seconds...
Oh dear, Roman Grosjean and Fernando Alonso
Yeah.
and Lewis Hamilton all coming to grief at La Source. And Alonso...
The entire front field turned into a demolition derby. Within seconds, La Source looked like an apocalypse. Carbon fiber raining down. Marshall sprinting in. Smoke everywhere. Alonso climbs out shaking his head. Hamilton stares at the wreckage. And Grosjean, standing there like he just discovered gravity the hard way. When the FIA reviewed it, there wasn't even a debate. €50,000 fine, 1 race ban. First in nearly 2 decades. Official statement, extremely serious breach with potential for injury. Unofficial translation, my guy skipped turn 1 and entered restricted airspace. And just like that, Crash On was born. No rain, no failures, no freak weather. Just one driver's speedrunning definition of chaos. That day, Formula 1 didn't crown a hero. It crowned its first surface-to-air specialist. And while Grosjean took to the skies, the universe clearly went, okay, now let's see what happens if we add water. At first, everything looked fine. Germany, packed crowd, flags waving, the smell of bratwurst and overconfidence in the air. It was supposed to be a calm Sunday of elite racing. Kimi on pole, Alonso lurking, Hamilton chasing, everyone ready to flex their supreme skills. But the weather gods, they looked down and said, alright, let's ruin careers. It started small, a drizzle, harmless enough to make engineers panic, but not enough to pit yet. Except one man saw the chaos coming, Marcus Winkelhock. A rookie, like literally, this was his debut driving for Spiker. Bro dove into the pits before the start to slap on full wets. Everyone else thought he'd lost it. 30 seconds later, he looked like a genius. Because within 1 lap, the drizzle turned into the Noah's Ark DLC. Not a shower, not even rain. This was the sky falling down. Turn 1 became a swimming pool. Button, gone. Vert, gone. Sutil, gone. Liuzzi, gone. Hamilton, he tried to survive before hitting a river and sliding into the gravel. So, yeah, gone as well. Meanwhile, Winkelhock, guess what? He was leading the race. The FIA panicked and brought out the red flag. When the water finally drained and racing resumed, Winkelhock's dream faded. His Spiker didn't survive the restart and Alonso eventually took the win. For someone who made the right call, absolutely brutal. But no one remembered the result. They remembered the tractor, the floods, and the one rookie who led the world for 5 glorious minutes before reality kicked him back down. So yeah, Nurburgring 2007 was proof that no matter how dominant, how smart, or how prepared you are, rain doesn't care. It humbles everyone equally. However, hold on, because Spa 19 makes every other accident look like a kid's bumper car ride. The race starts, lights go out, and before you can even grab a sip of your drink...
Yeah, and everything is just so wet. So basically you can't see anything and someone is crashing and getting back on a road. It's so bad.
Terrible. Oh, this is quite appalling. This is the worst
no.
that I've ever seen in the whole of my life.
absolute carnage.
So basically the first, I don't know, 2 and the last one did survive.
The rain was pouring, visibility was awful, and honestly, the drivers might as well have been blindfolded. David Coulthard lost control down the straight, and then it was pure chaos. You blinked, and suddenly half the grid was gone. One car spins, another slams into it, and then it's dominoes. 13 cars destroyed in just seconds.
13.
This was millions in untouchable F1 machines just getting ripped apart like Lego sets. Some drivers jumped out furious, pointing fingers, while others just stood there like, bro, did that really just happen? Obviously, they had to stop the race. Marshals rushed in, bits of carbon fiber everywhere, and the commentators sounded like they'd just seen the apocalypse, and, I mean, they kinda had. It was such mayhem, nobody knew who to blame. So, restart time. Fresh chance, right? Yeah, nope.
Fresh crashes? Oh.
First lap again, and Mika Häkkinen, the championship leader, got tapped into Johnny Herbert and spun out immediately. Just like that, he was dead in the water. But out of all this mess, Jordan smelled the opportunity. Damon Hill, calm, steady, and suddenly in a league of his own. His teammate Ralf Schumacher wanted to attack, but team orders locked them in, and Jordan walked away with a 1-2 finish, the first win in their history. Spa 98 became Exhibit A for why you can never predict this sport, and 23 years later, the same track doubled down on that truth, by proving that chaos and nothingness can both steal the spotlight. No pile-ups, no mayhem, just nothing. Rain falling, cars parked, fans freezing, and 2 laps behind a safety car that somehow counted as a race. Hardest part about that GP was actually staying awake trying to watch it. From the greatest demolition derby in F1 history to the world's most expensive parade lap, Spa really proved one thing. When F1 drivers forget how to drive, the sport doesn't just lose control, it rewrites its own chaos-filled history. And that's the thing about Formula 1, it's the only sport where perfection and disaster share the same corner. It's about how gloriously stupid and spectacular things can get when the best in the world still mess up like the rest of us. If you enjoyed watching drivers fumble, make sure to watch this video I know you'll love. And as always,
yeah. This was fun. But interesting, totally. Yeah, so thank you for suggesting this video, and I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please consider to leave a like and subscribe, and hopefully I'm gonna see you next time. Take care. Bye.